Good afternoon and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Coco, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today is Coco's ability to understand and respond to her obedience commands, the corrections and motivations we give her while we are working with her, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot whip training leash, and he's going to keep the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, leaving his left hand free to give the correction. The correction that we give is a tug and let go to the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Coco's been fitted with her own personal training collar, and we'll show you how to properly use this during your lesson. Now you see Coco is seated on Fred's left, which is where all our obedience training is done, and the first command they'll demonstrate is heeling, which is proper walking on a leash. Fred and Coco take off doing that now. The command you want to use for this is Coco heel, and then you start walking and she'll fall right in line on your left hand side. And we've also gone ahead and incorporated our sit command into this. As you see right there, anytime Fred stops his feet, Coco will sit. Now it's important while you're heeling Coco that she walks nicely at your pace without trying to pull ahead of you or lag behind. If she does attempt to pull ahead or lag behind, say no, give a tug and let go correction to her training collar, repeat the command to heel, and then start walking again. Now the next command they'll demonstrate is our stay command, which is the hand and voice command. Fred will use the open flat of his left palm an inch or so from Coco's muzzle and the one-word command to stay. He walks out to the end of the training leash. Now this is a good exercise to build up self-control in Coco. You can start practicing this one at about a minute's time and work your way up in increments until you get to about 3 minutes. Now as Fred returns back to Coco, he's going to walk all the way around her, providing an added distraction as he goes behind, and right back to that left-hand side heel position. She holds that sit-stay throughout. He gives her a little praise, and then he heels her right out of it. He'll show you a little more of the heel, sit, and stay. As he heels her around, stops his feet, she sits. Has her in the sit, he gives her the stay again, walks back out to the end of that training leash. Now this time he'll give her a second to hold this position, and then he'll demonstrate our come or recall command instead of returning back to her. He calls her in using her name. She gets up, comes right in and sits in front of him. Then we have a move called the finish. Fred's going to heel her right around the back of him and right back to his left hand side heel position, and she sits. He'll demonstrate that recall one more time. She's in a sit. He gives her a stay. Walks out to the end of that training leash, gives her a second to hold it, and then calls her in by her name. She comes in, sits right in front of him, and then the finish right around the back and right back to his left-hand side heel position and seated. Very nice. Now it's a good time to remind you want to practice all your commands with Coco about 15 to 20 minutes a day. It helps to keep the commands fresh in her mind and her performing her best for you. And you can practice them inside or outside your home and then start just incorporating them into your daily routine with her. Next up are going to be our down commands. The first is down from a heel position. Fred will use the open flat of his left palm straight down to the ground and the one-word firm command to down. He gives her a stay and then walks out to the end of that training leash. Now this is another great exercise to build up that self-control. You can start practicing this one at about 3 minutes time and work your way up in increments until you get to about 5 minutes. Now as Fred returns back to Coco, he's going to walk all the way around her just as he did on the sit-stay and right back to that left-hand side heel position. She holds that down throughout, he gives her some praise, and then heels her right out of it. Now I'll show you that down again when he comes back around. You see Coco's doing very well, but if for any reason she doesn't respond to a command or she breaks a stay, it's always important to follow through. So the first word out of your mouth would be no, followed by a tug and let go correction to her training collar, and then you repeat the command you'd given her. And there Fred shows you the down again, and then he gives her a stay and walks back out to the end of that leash. This time he gives her a second to hold it, and he'll demonstrate that come or recall command right out of the down position. Calls her in, she gets right up and comes into him and sits in front, and then that finish right around the back of him and right back to the left-hand side heel position. One little bobble there, but we'll show you how to do that finish when you come for your lesson. Now he's going to get lined up for our final command here with her, which is down from a distance. This will be our down from a distance. You're going to have her in a sit, give her a stay, walk out to the end of your training leash. Now this is the only time you use your right hand to give the command, and Fred will drop her into a down from the end of the training leash. Very nicely done. He then returns back to her once again, walking all the way around and right back to the left-hand side heel position. Alright, we've demonstrated for you our basic obedience commands that we've been working on with Coco while she's been here at school. It's been a pleasure working with Coco, and we thank you again for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer.